Hey friends, this is Angela from Art of Creation Homestead, and welcome back to our kitchen. Welcome back to our homestead. I've been doing a lot of preserving the harvest videos lately, and you guys seem to be really enjoying it. So I just thought I'd bring you along for another one, because that's what me and Jason are doing a lot of right now, is preserving the harvest. That's the reason that we haven't got to answer comments or anything like that, because we have been so busy. We've had tomatoes coming out the walls. We've had so many tomatoes. We've been picking stuff. I'm picking something every day and preserving it in some way every day. So just know that we love your comments. We love hearing from you. We treasure the comments deeply, but this is the reason, this right here is the reason we haven't been able to answer them. So today, what I'm going to show you how to do is how I freeze okra. Now, you can just cut it up and freeze it. That's fine. It works great. And then you can bread it when you're ready to fry it. That works great. But this makes it much easier come mealtime. I'm going to show you how to freeze it pre-breaded. That way, all you have to do come mealtime is just fry it. Or pop it in the air fryer, however you do yours. First off, you see I have two different kinds here. This is what we grew. This is Jing Orange. This is one of my favorites. It's so tender. Even at this length, still so tender. Does not get hard or woody at this length. It stays nice and tender. It also is completely smooth. No spines on it. What I mean by spines is on these ridges, you will get little tiny sticker-like things that you can't really see, but they're there, and your fingers can feel them. Now, this on the other hand, this is called Hill Country. They make great big pieces of fried okra, and they taste really good as well, but they do have spines. All along here, they do have spines. So I'm going to show you how to get rid of those spines really quick too. What you want to do, you want to take your knife, take it over a paper towel, rub backwards, rub from the pointy end up to the stem, rub the point of your knife over it. And see, it scrapes all of those off. They're all on the knife. And you want to run it along each groove, each little hump where the spines are at, and it will break all those spines off. Because you really don't want those spines. There we go. Now all the spines are breaked off that one. Like I said, with some of them, we've grown Star of David. It's very spiny. Very spiny. The most popular one that most people grow is Clemson Spineless. There's a reason it's called Clemson Spineless. It has no spines. But there's also several others like Jing Orange that also do not have spines. So if you don't want to have to do this, then go with the spineless variety. But at the same time, this is easy. And sometimes the spiny ones have the most flavor. Although the Jing Orange does have a lot of flavor. So now, I'm going to cut off the little caps. Some people will eat that. I'm not a big fan of the little caps. So I go ahead and cut the little caps off. Now, this is how I like to do them. As far as this little end down here, you can choose to bread that, or you can choose to cut it off. When I was a little girl, by the way, yes, I even loved okra when I was a little girl. Mom grew it all the time in the garden, and I loved it. I used to love that end when I was a little girl. Now, I tend to cut that off, and I just go ahead and snack on them raw. Because for those of you who have never tried raw okra, it's delicious. Yes, it does have the mucilage, but I don't mind the mucilage. The mucilage is actually really good for your digestion and stuff like that. So it's actually really good for you. So I'll push those over to the side for me to snack on later. Now, this is all up to you how you like yours cut. I like a good fat piece of fried okra. I want to taste the okra. So I tend to do them about like that. So you want to keep cutting them all up. Just Slice them all the way you like them. Now, you don't have to slice them that thick. If you like them very thin and you want more breading than okra, go right ahead. But like I said, I love the flavor of the okra itself. Jason, when I met him, was not into okra. I don't know that he had ever had it. I don't know that he had ever had okra at that point. But last time we grew okra, I fixed some fried okra and he really liked it. Honestly, it just kind of takes once to taste it before you realize that, hey, this really isn't that bad. It gets a bad rap because of the mucilage. Now, if you don't like varieties that have a lot of mucilage, Hill Country, to me, Hill Country doesn't seem to have a lot of mucilage. Really, neither does Jing Orange. Now, I've noticed Clemson Spineless does tend to have a little more mucilage. They're all going to have some mucilage. Just face it. It's okra. It's going to have some mucilage. It's that mucilage that if you use it in gumbo or soups or stews, it's that mucilage that helps thicken your soup or stew or whatever you're using it in. It helps thicken it. So it's kind of a good thing, really. Like I said, it's also extremely good for your digestion. So it's a good thing. Embrace it. Embrace the mucilage. Now I'm just going to sprinkle it with some salt and pepper. You want to sprinkle it really good with some salt and pepper. It needs a good pinch of salt. And I like some pepper on mine. If you don't like pepper on them, then don't put pepper on them. But I like some pepper on mine. And I can never resist. I gotta do it. If you've never had raw okra, you're missing out. It's so good. So good. Okay. Now for the breading. This is what I like to do. Here, for this amount of okra, I probably wouldn't really have needed it, but I've got 2 smaller eggs here. Mixed with some salt, beat up with some salt and pepper. And for 1 egg, you want about 1 to 2 teaspoons, not tablespoons, of cold water. And it makes a nice little egg wash. And in this bag, I have some cornmeal that I've seasoned just with salt, a good bit of salt and some pepper. Season it however you want it. If you like Cajun seasoning in yours, whatever you like to season your okra with, go ahead and throw it in this bag with the cornmeal. This is the kind of cornmeal I'm using. I'm just using Martha White self-rising cornmeal mix. Same thing that I use for making a cornbread or use for breading fried squash or anything like that. Use whatever you like. Now, all I do, it's this simple. All I do is just take a few pieces. You don't want to do a lot at a time. Just a few pieces. Toss them around in your egg wash. And then you want to pick up just a couple at a time. You want to knock your fork against the side of your container because you want to get the egg off, and it'll also knock off some of that mucilage as well. And then you want to drop them into your bag. Make sure they don't stick together. That's the key. You don't want them to stick together. If they stick together, then you're going to have a big clump of okra in there and not the individual okra that you're wanting. So you want to just shake it up. Just shake it. That's the reason I do it in a bag. You can shake it and it's much cleaner. It's much cleaner than putting it in a bowl or anything like that. And you get a much cleaner piece of okra. See, there you've got a nice little piece of breaded okra. And you can see here that I have a couple of pans lined with parchment. You want to lay them out individual on those pans. You just want to lay them out individual on those pans. And see, they're nice and breaded. It's okay if you get some excess cornmeal on your paper. It'll actually just help keep them from sticking as they freeze. And now you want to keep breading them, laying them out on your parchment paper. And I'll show you what you do afterwards. Okay, now we have our 2 pans here. And as you can see, they are really beautiful pieces of okra. As you can see, they are individually breaded pieces of okra. Perfect. Now, you want to make sure that they're not touching on your pans, because you are going to individually quick freeze these. That way, they're all froze separately, and the breading is froze solid onto them. That way the breading's not falling off, the breading doesn't fall off when you fry them. It works wonderful. Come on people, you can't tell me that doesn't sound amazing. To just be able to have fried okra anytime you want it, without the mess, without muss, fuss, or anything. Those of you who are like me and are okra lovers, you'll understand this. Those of you who don't like okra, you're probably not watching this video, unless you just love us. And in that case, thank you so much, we love you too. So now I'm gonna pop these into the freezer, let these individually quick freeze. It will just take a few hours, and then I'll show you what we do next. But first, I'm gonna tell you this. This right here is the perfect way, if you don't have enough okra to have as a side dish for your meal, this is a perfect way. If you just have, maybe you just cut 4 or 5, go ahead and do this. You can add to that bag all the time. I have a bag in there started right now. You just add to that bag as you get them breaded and individually quick frozen, just throw them in that bag until you get a bag full, and then you can, or get as much as you need for a meal. Then you can go ahead and fry them up. It's the next day. Now, they were ready before this, but time got away from me.
If you don't get to, you don't get to.
Yeah, it's fine. And see, they're nice and hard now. And they're individually quick frozen. So nothing is stuck together. And they may be, some of them may stick a little to the paper, but that's why you put down parchment paper, because it'll release them pretty quick.
Yep.
And because you can do just small batches like this that aren't enough to fix a side dish or whatever, I've already got a bag started. And now you just add them to that bag. And it's the same with fixing them. You can just pull out as many as you need, because they're frozen individually and already breaded. You can just pull out as many as you need and put the rest back in the freezer.
Be sure to label it again so you know what it is and where it came from, what year.
Yeah.
It's always nice.
So now you can store these away in your freezer for a good long time, really.
Good winter eating.
Yes.
All right, there you have it. It's a good way to preserve your harvest of something that maybe you won't eat a ton of. Like, we'll eat this okra, but we don't need massive amounts of okra. We'll eat some, and that's fine, and it's ready to go whenever Angela's ready to fix it. But we didn't need massive amounts of it, and there we have just probably 2 or 3 side dishes in reality in that bag right there, and with more to come still. So it's easy to just harvest some, put it away, harvest some, put it away, without needing a massive quantity at one time. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. My name is Jason. That smart one, her name is Angela Kay. This is Art of Creation Homestead. We love y'all. God bless you and goodbye.